Newcastle Fans TV.
Hello everyone, we are down enemy territory because we have just played a charity match. The sun has come out, which is rare in this part of the world. Getting some evil looks now. We're here to talk about Newcastle seasons because it's a shit show, put it that way. No win in 5 games. I've got Matt because I thought we'll hog Matt since he's up here. He is real, people. He's real. Matt, what's your feelings after 5 games?
Very disappointed, not just with the results but with the performances as well. I think it's been disappointing for the fans. Obviously full stadium's back. You think we'd be doing better considering the opponents we've played as well. I think that was epitomised by Leeds United on Friday night, down to the bare bones. Average age of their bench was 19 years old. And they all, their star players were out. They had one fit centre back, and we can manage one scrappy goal. Well, one magical goal, but relying on one man to do all the work for us. Should have realistically lost that game with that performance, and I think that sums up our season. Bottling a lead against West Ham, bottling it against Southampton, bottling it against Leeds, and then we won't mention the Man United game and anything else. But yeah, disappointing for the fans, I think, is one way to put it. And Steve Bruce's time is short at the club, I think.
I want to talk about the fans because the fans Leeds in the Leeds game. There was a lad in front of me trying to run on and jump on the actual pitch. There was talk of paper planes, which I only seen some of them at the Leazes, but where I stand inside the ground, we don't sit and everyone sings or voices their frustration. It was very much negative. Bruce out, Bruce out, Bruce out. That's only going to go up notch and notch and notch and notch, isn't it?
Yeah, every negative result, every game that we don't get 3 points, it's going to crank that up one little bit more. And I don't think it's a positive thing for the club. If fans are protesting, I'm absolutely behind the protest. If you're not happy, but then that's going to affect the players. It's going to affect the management. It's going to affect everyone's heads inside the stadium. So when we've got home games like we saw on Friday night, it can turn toxic. It can affect the play on the pitch. But it's only going to go backwards now. I think we're past a point of no return for Steve Bruce. He's had some fans on side, saying, "Oh, he's got these results here. He's finished there in the league. We'll give him some slack. We'll give him some time to build this team." And he said in his last press conference, he's got us ticking along. We're really happy with ticking along. We're not happy. We don't want to have any ambitions of getting higher up the table. Ticking along, second bottom with 2 points after 5 games. It's exactly where we want to be as fans. Obviously not. So people have got their protest, and they've got every right to protest because these results have not gone our way, and I can't see them going our way anytime soon.
We've got 2 away games now. Newcastle won't play at home for probably another month now with the international break after that. Watford, then Wolves, 2 teams who you would think might be there or thereabouts, 13th downwards. If I said to you, I'll give you 4 points, Matt, you'd jump at that, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Watford, one of the most impressive promoted sides we've seen in a while. Obviously Leeds United last season, but Watford this season kicking on. They've got some good attacking players. They've invested where they needed to invest. Ismail Assar, Dennis's pace up top could be a problem for us as well. So I'll take a point against Watford, preferably 3. But no, they'll be a tough side. And then Wolves away as well, creating a lot of chances this season, Wolves, but they just haven't got the finished product. So if they can start firing, they're going to be a very dangerous team to come up against. But in their current form, you've got to be looking at that game and thinking we've got to take our chances against that side. Disappointing result this weekend for them, disappointing result last weekend, and we've got to be getting at least 3 points from those 2 games, preferably 4, hopefully avoiding defeat in those 2. But realistically, the way we're playing at the moment, I can only see us getting 2 at most.
Would you take 2 points though?
Probably not, given the situation that we're in. If we'd maybe won against Leeds, I'd maybe take 2 points. 2 tough away games to go down and get points from those. But you've got to look at Watford regardless of how well they're playing. They're a newly promoted side adapting to the Premier League for the first time in a while under a new manager. You've got to consider that they're there for the taking regardless of how well they're playing. So 2 points is okay, but it's not good enough really. We want to be ambitious, we want to be further up the table, and 2 points, that'll put us on 4 points after 7 games, which isn't good enough to stay up really, is it?
No, it's not. There's obviously disruptions, what Craig Coper said in the Daily Mail, that there's players clashing with each other and the staff and people not happy getting picked on with Ronaldo's second goal, Isaac Hayden and what have you. There's loads of on the field, off the field stuff. I want to talk about players out of position though. You were talking about Isaac Hayden being parked at centre-back when there's 2 centre-backs on the last 2 games. Miguel Miron, I know you said that you like him in that left midfield, but he's still out of position. Dwight Gale didn't even get a kick. I've said that a couple of times now on the channel. We get drawn or we're getting beaten. There's a striker sat there, hasn't even played any minutes yet. There's even ESM to some extent is playing out of position, even though he's played up top because of Callum Wilson. Surely the players look at it and think, had a minute, it's 3-4 and that's start 11 that are out of position. I don't believe or trust this manager.
No, they've got to really, because Isaac Hayden, take him for a prime example. He's arguably our best holding midfielder we've got, and he's been stuck at centre back. Like, what qualities has he shown that he can play as a centre back that's better than the people that are on the bench, so Clark and Fernandez or Share, and depending on which game it is, why is he going to be the deputising centre back when you've got two fit centre backs who are of a decent standard sitting on the bench if you want to play a back five. Even Emil Kraft, as bad a player as he is, and as much as we slate him, he's not a centre back. He shouldn't be playing as a centre back, and he's been shafted because of it. Some players adapt well to it. We've got, like you mentioned, Almiron slotting into that left central midfield slot quite well. His energy in that midfield is quite welcome, but it takes away from his attacking capabilities. And Saint-Maximin as well, he does suit that number 10 role, but it takes a position away from someone like Dwight Gale, who can bag us a goal, who's not getting minutes at the moment. We gave Dwight Gale a new contract. What for? These are the games that's crying out for him when we need a goal. He's a poacher, he's a finisher, he puts the ball in the back of the net. And you'll get some fans saying that, he's not Premier League quality, but give him a chance to prove that he is. Players playing out of position, it's not looking good. They can't trust the manager because they're not being utilised to their best extent. Matt Ritchie and Jacob Murphy, they're not defensive players, and we've been shafted because of it this season. Their mistakes have cost us goals and cost us results. And I'm not blaming them as players because they're not defenders. They're two wingers that have been converted into wing backs. You've got Jamal Lewis there, who admittedly didn't play fantastically when he did get the chance, but he's been out in the cold for a while now. Bring him back in. Manquillo's had a good couple of games. Keep him in the team. They're full-backs and wing-backs that can play in that position. Stop playing players out of position, you might get a result here or there.
Last question. Will Steve Bruce be sacked before the January transfer window, or will he be kept on all season?
Well, that depends on the results. I think if we're still in the relegation zone come around Christmas time, I think he's got to go. I think if we don't get at least 2 points in the next two games, I think he'll be baying for
perfect time in it, international break.
Exactly. I think you've got last international break he went on holiday, so sack him and he can go on another holiday. I can personally, if I was Ashley, he'd be gone already, but you look at teams like Nottingham Forest, who had Chris Hughton bottom of the table, sacked him. They won against Huddersfield Town this weekend, who are doing quite well in the league. You've got that new manager bounce. Can that benefit you in that winter where it's quite a compact schedule around the winter time? Can that benefit you? Get points on the board when you need them, when it's a crucial time going into the second part of that season. Steve Bruce clearly has lost, you say he's lost the dressing room. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. He's clearly lost some players. He's definitely lost the majority of the fans. So is it time for him to go? I think he's out of contract at the end of the season anyway. Surely Mike Ashley's got to be thinking the amount of money it takes to relieve Steve Bruce's contract and get someone else in compared to the amount of money we're going to get if we stay in the Premier League. You've got to be thinking financially, at least, which we know Mike Ashley, that's how he thinks. He's got to be thinking this is the best decision. Let Bruce go and bring someone else in for the rest of the season.
Phil, thank you very much for holding the camera, Isaac, and I think thank you very much for watching, everyone. Smash that like button. Ta-da.